Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sama. So there's a video recently that's been going around and people have been accusing Teni of being disrespectful to the president of Nigeria. For anyone that doesn't know who Teni is a Nigerian singer, artist, So our president, who is the Buhari, was giving out award, which I honestly do not understand what that award was about. But anyways, it was giving an award, and Teni, I think that's her name. Teni is the name she goes by. She went to collect her award, and some people feel like she was disrespectful. And honestly, I've watched that video and I'm trying to see the disrespect. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. I haven't seen it. We're all going to have opinions. This is my opinion. I watched it. I didn't see the disrespect. There's a way she walks. She walks without, whatever. But that's her. That's her style. That's the way she walks. That's the way she carries herself. Some people may see that as disrespectful, the way she bounced in and all of that. If you actually watch that video, I took my time and I watched that video over and over and over again. And I saw that there's this guy that they have to go through this guy before they go to collect the award. And you can actually see the way the guy looked at her and the guy shook his head. And I'm like, what did she do to make him shake his head? Just the way she bounced. But that's the way she carries herself. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the way she carries herself. But the way that guy shook his head, I may be wrong, but it looked like a shaking of head of disapproval, like, where did they do this one? You understand? If this is the way this girl walks, this is the way she carries herself. So she should say, because I'm coming in front of the president, I should change my steps. She doesn't have to do that. That's the way she walks. Every single time you see her, that's the way she's always like this and all of that. And I think, our culture sees it like it's men that can walk like that. A guy can walk like that. Women shouldn't bounce when they walk. Women should walk in a humble, quiet, and submissive way. She doesn't walk submissively, right? And don't forget that this notion of the way a man walks and the way a woman walks, is man-made. There's no rule about how women should walk or how men should walk, right? Now, if you look at that guy smiling and shaking his head when she walked past, you could have said that was disrespectful of him to shake her head at her back. But nobody go call her disrespectful because she's a woman and she's younger. You understand? You don't forget, respect is supposed to be two sides. And then when she went to collect her award, like I said, I played it again and again. She actually looked up and she was looking at the president. The president didn't even look back at her. And then she faced her side. When she looked up and he wasn't looking, she faced front. Abi, she collected her award and then she left. You can even see that even after she left, she was still talking like that and still carrying herself like that. So it was not something she went and did to the president. That is how she carries herself. You see, when she was walking away from the venue, she was still walking like that. That is how she carries herself. When it comes to this notion of respect, I think some cultures are different from others. For those that do not know, Nigeria is a very big country with many different tribes, and culture, traditions differ. What one tribe would call respect to another tribe is nothing. So you understand? Like my tribe will call disrespectful tribe because we don't bow to greet people. We don't do a lot of those things, and that is not our definition of respect. I remember growing up, finding myself in a different culture, and I see people kneeling down to greet. I remember saying, why are they kneeling down? Like in my culture, if you kneel down, it's because you've done something wrong, or maybe if you want to pray. In my side of the country, in Igbo land, when your parents tell you to kneel down, it's because you have done something bad. We don't kneel down to greet. And there's someone that comes from a culture where they kneel down to greet. We see somebody like me, greeting an elder, and I don't go on my knees and say she has no respect. But that's not the definition of respect where I come from, right? Now, I have watched videos of other people going to collect their award. And honestly, maybe, I don't know, my eyes can't see it. Some other people shook the president's hand, that Teni did not shake the president's hand. But if I'm not mistaken, those cultures that believe in this kind of, if I'm not mistaken, by Nigerian context, a younger person does not stretch out hand for a handshake to an elder, or else the elder does it first. I didn't see President Buhari put his hand out for Teniola to shake, and Teniola rejected it. That didn't happen. So when he didn't offer it, if Teniola had offered the handshake first, it would be seen as disrespectful, because a younger person shouldn't put their hands out first for handshake. It's the elder that has to do it first. So that's where some people have picked up and say other people shook his hand. But I'm thinking that it was not her place to put her hands out first to shake Buhari. That's how I see it. This story has been going around the internet, and I've looked at it several times to be sure that in case I missed something, and I didn't see disrespect in that, right? And I want to also speak about this, the way we carry this respect on our heads, like, as if our lives depend on it. Especially when you've lived in other countries and see, it's not necessary about, oh, that culture is better or this culture is better. But I think we take this respect of a thing to the point where it's completely meaningless. You ask yourselves, what have we actually achieved with all this respect that we talk about all the time? This is my opinion. Oh, don't forget, I feel like we take it way too far. I understand where you say, there are some obvious things you can say, oh, that is so disrespectful, like insulting an elder, you decrease, you the mad, and say, look at you, old man, wrinkled skin, blah, I'm just using a random example, right? But when you think about even the so-called respect and say, African culture, we have, there are some cultures we have that are beautiful, but the way some people put some value on this so-called respect, it just doesn't make. Let me tell you guys, right? I've made videos in which I say that we always talk about respect and all of those things, and look at the society we have built. With all the respect in the world, where has it taken us to? The Western society will say that culture is a culture of no respect. Look at the societies they have built without respect. With all the respect we have, we are the ones that you will see red light, Nigerian person. I'm not saying all, oh. Typically, they will not stop. They will drive past. Break the law, like the rules of the road. They put bins on the street. How many Nigerians have enough respect for themselves and their country that they will see a bin and actually put rubbish in the bin? Many Nigerians still throw rubbish on the street. And we're talking about respect. The same respect is why a so-called elder will be doing something completely wrong. You say, don't talk about it. He's an elder. I've told you guys before. I said, in the so-called developed part of the world, a high court judge, if he cross red lights, or disobeys the rules of the road or whatever, a 20-year-old police officer that was only recruited yesterday can arrest him and put handcuffs in him. Nothing like, you don't know he's an elder. No. Nobody's above the law. A police officer can be arrested. There's nothing like, he's my fellow police officer, let him go. Can you not see the gray on his head? Why will you put handcuffs on him? It's not true. And because of that, their own version of respect. That's why people have no choice. They respect the rules and they respect the law. The so-called respect is why we have our ancestors still in power. And the new generation cannot question. Because it's like, is he your mate? What have we really... Because when we talk about respect, we don't know what respect is. Self-respect, many of us don't even have it. When they will say, in our culture, if elder will do this, the elder will do that. Our elders that they fear the most are the ones that gave birth to the people we have today. All the people we have in power were raised in Nigerian style of respect. Who are they today? Many of them have grown up to be corrupt politicians, embezzlers of public fund. So what respectful way were they raised? How much respect did they impact in them that they don't have respect for their country? They don't have respect for the rule of law. What are we talking about? What have we really achieved with our respect? That is really what I want us to sit down and question. Ask ourselves, what have we achieved with all the so-called respect that we have? That is why you can't even make a video. You make a video. Now I'm even saying, I say Buhari. You say Buhari, people, no problem. Peter Obi, everywhere people are calling his name. Peter Obi, not brother, not uncle Peter, nothing. Peter Obi, they are calling his name like this. You can even call Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And then you say Adeboye. You will see his church members that come and say, you have no respect. Why will you say Adeboye? Is he your mate? I did not even call him Enoch. I call him Adeboye. You have no respect. Is he your mate? Buhari, is Buhari our mate? Are you not calling Buhari Buhari? You say Oyedepo. How dare you call him Oyedepo? Is he your mate? I did not call his first name. What's his first name? David. I did not call him David, though. I called him Adeboye. But everybody is talking. You can all say Buhari, and it's not disrespectful. But when it comes to church things, they are mini gods. How dare you call them by their names? What are we talking about? The Jesus that came and died for your sins and my sins, older than your ancestors. You call him Jesus Christ. You know, poor brother Jesus. I should call your pastor daddy. He's old enough to be my father. And so what? I know who my father is. But when there are people come here, they expect him to call him daddy. He's not my father. Those of you that don't know who your father is, you can go and call them father. He's not my father. Your pastor is not my father. It's disrespectful because I say Adeboye. But we're all saying Buhari. So we don't know what respect is. We don't know. That respect that will make, is it not why a child is being touched? Do you know this past week, how many news, at least 3 of fathers in Nigeria that got their daughters pregnant? That respect is why they will say, the child will be afraid to speak because he's my father. I have to respect. I can't tell anybody. The same respect is why pastors are molesting people's children. Children don't talk. They say respect, respect. We are destroying that country because we don't know what respect is. Anyways, I saw that video and, I just wanted to touch on it. Personally, I feel like we dabble into unnecessary things. These are not things that are going to make the country better. Look at our country. With all the so-called respect we have as a culture, what have we achieved with it? You go to America, you see a child. They say, hello, Mr. Matthews. You know, go say, hello, sir. Sir. No, hello, Mr. Matthews. And Mr. Matthews go answer to 2-year-old. Hi, Michael. No quarrel, nothing. On put your place until you knock your head for ground and get up and still do jangle over and you have no respect. But look at those societies and look at our society. What have we achieved with all of the unnecessary drama? Anyways, I saw the video and this is my opinion about the so-called disrespect of Teni. I've watched that video. I do not see it. So I don't know what we expected, whether she should have gone on her knees, to show that she's Omoluabi. Yeah, let me show. She should have gone on her knees and prove that she's a full-blooded Yoruba girl. Or I don't know what they wanted her to do. But personally, when I watched it, this is my opinion. As always, whatever your own opinion is, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.